Hey everybody, welcome back to 4LowRocks. Hey, let's talk about jeeping, RVing, and camping as we face down this global pandemic that we call COVID-19. And we're starting right now. Hey everybody, welcome back. But before we get started, if this is your first time here or if you've not subscribed to 4LowRocks yet, please hit that subscribe button down below and click the bell icon for future notifications of 4LowRocks contents as soon as I post it. It really helps the channel by having YouTube direct more traffic our way and telling other viewers that we're a good place to come and spend some time. A quick disclaimer on this video, I am by no means a subject matter expert in this field, but I'd like to explore with you some ways that maybe we can cope with if we're fond of jeeping, RVing, or camping, and how we can deal with this situation as it continues to change on a near daily basis and even hourly. I'm also not trying to glom onto this global crisis by somehow or another profiteering off of it. I just want to share my thoughts with you and hopefully maybe influence some of you others to come on board with my way of thinking or with the Jeep community or the RV community or the camping community at large. So let's go ahead and get started. So at the time of this recording, there are at least 7 states throughout the nation and more coming on board near daily that have issued some kind of a stay-at-home order, shelter-in-place order, and a few large cities and maybe even counties have even gone into complete and total lockdown, such as New York City. All this is being done at the highest levels of decision-making and is being done in an attempt to try to slow the spread of this rapidly spreading virus throughout the country. I think that's a good thing. I'm not sure if it'll work in the long run, but for right now, what's really being done is to try to slow the amount of people that are bombarding the emergency rooms throughout the country and to try to make the medical community able to continue to respond without being overwhelmed. I live in the state of California, and California has issued one of these orders, and I've been abiding by it for at least the past week. I've been teleworking out of home. Thank goodness I still have a job, and I hope many of you also are still able to work. And I hope that you are also abiding by and doing the right thing as you should be doing during this time. Now, I know that last statement that I made is going to meet with some controversy because I know that not all of you think the same way, and that's fine. People can have differences of opinion. But I believe that there are things being done for a reason, and maybe we should all consider how our responses and how our actions affect others around us. I'm here to urge all Jeepers, all RVers, and all campers to take this opportunity to step up and show solidarity with those in lead and those who are taking charge of this situation by implementing the protective orders that they've all asked us to do. Just recently, as a matter of fact, the Jeep Club with which I most closely associate, the San Diego Jeep Club, decided that they were going to suspend all group runs in order to keep with and show solidarity with these recently issued orders. I think that's a fine example of leadership. It met with some controversy on the forums and on the Jeep Club's Facebook page, but that's the way it's going to be for a period of time. I urge all of you to do the same thing. Think of others. Think of how your actions might affect others. You might think that being out on the trail, being in a campground, being in your tent in the middle of nowhere is a good thing. And maybe it is, maybe it's not. What if your Jeep breaks down on the trail? What if you get stuck and you have to call for recovery? What if your camper breaks down? What if you're in a trailer park where the infection is spreading wildly? Think about maybe not about yourself and whether or not you're going to get this disease, but think about maybe catching the disease and during the period of time before symptoms start showing how much you're spreading around to others. I believe that self-isolation in this period of time is very important and it can help others. I urge all of you to step up and behave that way and think that it's a good thing to isolate yourself from others, to be safe and maybe prevent others, maybe those in your own family, maybe the elders in your family, maybe people in your neighbors, the people you associate with work, the people that you go camping or jeeping with, also might be affected by your actions. I will acknowledge that many of us here in America are born and raised to be kind of rebellious, to kind of pick and choose the rules and the laws that we follow. But right now is not the time to be doing that. Right now is not the time to be basing your behavior on your own wants and desires for your selfish needs. Right now is the time to be bigger, to look beyond yourself, to look beyond your own little domain, and to try to help others in this time of great need and great global crisis. Like I said earlier, it would be very shameful to knowingly go around and infect others before your symptoms show up because of the way you've been behaving. Think about being in a recovery situation on the trail. Just recently, a few of our Jeep Club members went out to help a person who was stuck, and when they came back after getting the guy out and getting him home on his way, I think most of them regretted that they had actually done that. One guy told me it was hard not to hug somebody that he hadn't seen for a while. It was hard not to shake hands. It was hard not to high-five at the completion of a successful mission. It was hard to avoid touching tools that others had touched. What if somebody else had grabbed that steering wheel and had the virus? What if somebody else sneezed or coughed while I was underneath that Jeep with that person trying to get it unstuck? You know, there was just too much risk to take, and many of them regretted the fact that they had participated. I feel sorry for the gentleman who got stuck and had to ask those others to come out and help them. But had we all been following the governor's orders to stay home, to self-isolate, maybe this wouldn't have happened. So what can we do during this time of crisis, you might ask? Well, that's a really good question. Let's take the lead. Let's show how to do it. Let's show how to do it right. Let's do what's right. Let's do what's right when nobody's watching, right? Just do the right thing. I've seen lots of families out exercising together, much more so than I normally see. I've seen them out riding bicycles. I've seen them playing in the park. But I've also seen many, many people practicing good social distance practices. We've also had some local situations here in San Diego where things haven't gone so well. There's been overcrowding on the beach. There's been overcrowding on the local hiking trails. There's been overcrowding almost everywhere, and the city of San Diego has had to shut down many of these venues and many of these areas to try to help people stay apart from each other. You know, exercise in your own neighborhood. Go to your own local park. If it's crowded, don't go there. Go somewhere else. Just try to keep that social distance. Try to pretend like maybe you have that disease and you might be infecting others if you get too close. You know, some of you might be full-time RVers, and I kind of feel for you as you look around the country for some place to hunker down during this time of crisis. I know that many campgrounds are closing, many public lands where people like to congregate and camp are closing down too. And it's kind of difficult for these campgrounds in these areas to maintain some sense of sanitization and cleanliness in this current crisis. You know, I currently have camping reservations for the month of April, but I'm probably going to have to cancel them, even though the campground is staying open. I'm really concerned that the staff there is actually going to be able to clean the place well enough to prevent a wildfire spread of the disease through that campground. And I'm also concerned that I might actually bring it there from California if I show up there and I'm not yet showing symptoms. I'd feel really bad if I actually did that to that campground. So what can we do during this time of crisis? Well, you might make some mods to your Jeep, right? You might do some things to your camper. You might get some basic maintenance done. You might decide that it's a good time to do some work around the house, to maybe write the great American novel, to maybe start your own YouTube channel. And you know, while you may have found plenty of things to do with your time, I would encourage you to jump up here on this YouTube platform and binge watch all the 4LowRocks videos. Of course. But there are other people out there on YouTube that I'd also encourage you to watch. And by doing this, you're going to help drive more traffic and more sponsorship towards them, help them get more watch time, help them earn a little bit more ad revenue at no cost to you. That's right, no cost to you. It doesn't cost anything for you to jump up on YouTube and just scroll through all of the hundreds of thousands of maybe millions of videos that are out there for you to watch. And I'm telling you, there's no end to the amount of channels that portray jeeping activities, RV activities, and camping and other related activities. It's a good way to spend some time. I'd also encourage you to look down below all my videos and look for that generic Amazon link to my store that will help you find some of the Jeep parts that I use and some of the RV parts that I use. And everything that I list below on that channel I actually use in my vehicles, in my Jeep, and in my RV. So they're time tested and recommended by me. So besides my own channel, what are those other channels that I told you I was going to recommend? Well, first let me tell you that I didn't contact any of them. I didn't ask them permission. I didn't talk to them before I decided that I should list them. What I want to do is share with you some of my own favorite sites that I watch and see if maybe you're interested and maybe they're interested in having you come over too. The first one, and these are in no particular order, is NotaRubicon. You know, I've been out jeeping with Randy on a couple of occasions, and what I really like about his channel is that he produces very high quality videos. And most about his style is that he'll take you on a trail, he'll drive the trail with a couple of his buddies, and he will explain to you how to get through a lot of the passages, how to take in the scenes that you're going to see out there, and how to navigate and just have a good time on the trail. He makes it easy for you. So Jeep Generation. There's a very nice Jeep build for you to check out there. There's lots of good how-to videos and lots of good trail videos on some trails that I haven't been on in the Southern California area and out into Arizona as well. You know, he does a very nice job of portraying the Jeeping lifestyle. BleepinJeep. Well, here's everything and anything you ever wanted to know about Jeeping, including all different kinds of Jeeps, from Wranglers to Cherokees to old classic Jeeps. You name it. If you can't find it on that channel, then it probably doesn't exist. Trailrecon. You know, Brad is a fellow Navy vet, and he's done a lot of great videos and a lot of great productions since he started his YouTube channel a few years ago. And he's moved largely from rock crawling over to the overlanding style, and he's gained a great big following doing that. You know, preparing your Jeep or your small off-road trailer or even your camping setup to go overlanding is a great thing, and Brad can tell you how to make that happen. So over to RVing and camping. You know, one of my favorite channels of all time is a channel called You, Me, and the RV. Phil and Stacy are both fellow Navy vets, and they live full-time on the road in their Tiffin diesel pusher RV. You know, I watch them weekly, I check out all their videos, and I really enjoy how they portray the full-time lifestyle of RVing on the road. They actually even pull a Jeep behind them too. Well, it's a Jeep, yeah, it's got a badge on it, it says Jeep, but it's a Cherokee. I'll cut them a break for that. Then there's Long Honeymoon. You know, Sean and Christy Michael have been doing this YouTube thing for years, ever since the days of recording onto tape and transferring that over to a digital format many moons ago. They've got hundreds of videos up on their site, and they like to travel around the country and show us how to live in their Airstream and how they go camping and take their summer vacations in their Airstream almost every year. They don't limit the channel to just their Airstream. They also travel overseas from time to time, and they show us how they do that too, how they make their vacations very affordable and very efficient. And I'm really appreciative of the way that they produce their videos. So to Sean and Christy, lo-lo-ho. And while you're at it, on my very own channel here, 4LowRocks, you'll find a watch list where I produce videos using my R-Pod trailer to show you how we RV part-time using that trailer to extend our Jeeping horizon. I think you'll enjoy a lot of those. The R-Pod has a very cult-like and very good following, and it's a very nice little trailer that the Jeep is capable of pulling. And then there's Keep Your Daydream. This is a very professionally produced channel, and what's really unique about this channel is this family has shown us how they've gone from travel trailers, several versions of travel trailers, to a large fifth wheel with a very huge diesel pickup truck, to a Jeep with a small teardrop trailer, as their family has grown and left the household, and they've decided to change their style of RVing over the years. What I really like about it is that they're not full-timers, they're part-timers. They live in northern Arizona, and they head out for several months every year in a different way of RVing nearly every year. They have seasons of their RV channel, and they have several episodes within each season. They recently hinted that they have purchased their next season's RV, and they did talk on an earlier video about it being a motorized RV. So maybe this time around we're going to see a large diesel pusher or some kind of large motorhome, and maybe they'll keep their Jeep and tow it behind that motorhome. Good job, guys. You know, fellow Jeepers, RVers, and campers, I wish you all well. I wish you the best. I wish you the best of luck during this crisis, and I hope that none of you come down with or know anybody that comes down with this virus. There's all kinds of different opinions of what's going to happen. There's all kinds of fake news. There's all kinds of information that is questionable and may not be accurate, and who knows what's going to happen. I think that's the message that everybody's putting out right now, is we don't know what's going to happen. But right now, we do need to slow the rate of infection and slow that curve so that our medical community and the hospitals can cope with the rising number of people that need attention. Stay safe, stay healthy, and please join me in taking the lead by self-isolating, self-quarantining, and being safe and practicing good social distance practices during this time. I know that I've said a few controversial things in this video. You may not agree with me, and that's fine. We don't have to all have the same idea. But I hope that you'll join me in taking the lead and doing the right thing, even when nobody's watching. Good luck to you, and thanks for watching 4LowRocks. And until next time, happy camping. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment below. And if you haven't already done so, please click that subscribe button, as it means a lot to me and it helps to support the channel. Lastly, please follow 4LowRocks on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, happy wheeling.